Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Drena Finds Out. I have Jasmine Ball here with me to discuss my favorite thing ever, weddings.
Yeah, weddings.
Thank you for coming, Jasmine. Thank you for sitting down and talking to me.
Yeah, you're welcome. Anytime.
How are you?
I'm good, despite the pandemic, the panoramic, the whatever you
Yes, all of that. So Jasmine works with Gulf Coast Women's Magazine,
Yes.
and she also helps with, is it Gulf Coast Women's Weddings?
So it's Gulf Coast Weddings. Gulf
Okay.
Coast Weddings. They're just a branch of each other.
Yeah. And the first time I ever met her was actually at a wedding. She was working at a wedding. We were both working. So yeah, that was the first time I met her. Even though I knew your sister Charlotta, but the first time I met you was there. So then I just started following you after that and seeing all your content, and I was like, oh, this is really neat. And then that's when I discovered that you were working with the magazine. So what's that like? Like, how did you start getting involved with it?
So right out of college, I was looking for a job, and I knew I wanted to be in the creative field, but I didn't know like how I was going to get there. And I had a connection with a person that I knew that worked at Gulf Coast Women, and she was like, just call this number, and see if you can schedule a time to just talk with her. And I scheduled a time, and I talked with her, and like I did like a mini interview and showed her like my portfolio of things that I've done, and it was just like, okay, can you start next week? And I was like, sure, that's fine. And since then I've just been working with them and creating content and doing different things of that nature.
So you said you graduated, where'd you go to school?
I went to school at Mississippi State University, where I majored in fashion design and merchandising, and also have a marketing degree.
Okay. So as far as like the wedding magazine aspect of it, like what drew you to that? Is that something you've always had an eye for?
Yes, so long story but small story. When I was younger, me and my sisters used to go in Walmart because I was like the prime back then. We used to go in Walmart and go through the magazine section and pick up wedding books, and we used to always dream of having our own store, like our own bridal salon, and where they could actually find, because my sisters are plus size, so they always wanted to actually fit in a dress and not being,
Pinned in?
yeah, so they wanted to create this whole bridal experience for plus size women, and I was like, I'm down, so I want to do that. And then from there, I like nice things. So
Right.
I was just like, oh, great. Like one day when I get married, I want to have this, and this. So from there, I went to school, and I'm already in the fashion world. So you're going to run into bridal because it's a
Right.
part of it. I did an internship with House of Tux, and it was phenomenal. I would go there every Saturday throughout the month of July, and I would just sit and learn.
Yeah.
And I just loved it, and that's what drew me closer to it. And hopefully one day, I don't know where it's gonna take me,
Yeah.
but I do know people are not they're not stopping getting married, so
No.
that's always gonna be a time for bridal.
Yeah. If anything, they just found different ways to
Yeah,
to revise it.
yeah,
I actually used to work at David's Bridal because I just loved it so much. And even though the closest one to us is in Slaughterdale, I made some major money
yeah.
working, and I would only work weekends, but I was basically off commission. I was getting paid more that than my regular job, but it got too much. I was basically working 7 days a week. But yeah, House of Tux, I love them down there. I couldn't imagine how fun that would be.
It was so fun. Just I remember one time, I don't know what the bride's name was, but I was just in the dressing room with her, and we were picking out dresses. And when she found the dress, it made me tear up, and I was just like, I don't even know you.
Right.
It was just a whole different experience. It's like you're making somebody's day.
Yeah, not just that, but I found a lot of times the bride needs a friend.
Yeah,
Because she
for
has
sure.
her friends there and her family, but you're in there with her, okay, you don't have to do anything,
Yeah,
try to
you
talk
don't
her
have
through
to.
it.
If you don't like it, take it off.
Right.
If it's not you, don't worry about it.
So just being there to be that support for her, that's what I enjoyed about it. and then the money was good too. But
Yeah.
that's what I enjoyed. So, as far as like your family, I know that sometimes you said your sisters were really, y'all have always all been into it. So, is that something that y'all normally do, get together to help other people with weddings?
For sure. We've been in a couple of like spots to where people want us to do their wedding. We're definitely not like a company, but we can make something happen with whatever budget that you give us. I mean, my sister has done like a couple weddings, and we being her wingman, wing woman, we go and like help her.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's cool. I do think it's stressful being the person that is the go-to all the time, like what's going on with this, what's going on with that. That is a lot of stress for one person to handle. So I think us being together made it better for the weddings that we did help with. But yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
I like it.
Whenever it comes to picking, like keeping up with some people want to stay traditional, and then you have like more modern brides. So are you writing about what's in style now or what's coming up?
Well, both, because it's like, I call it the Southern traditional bride. Just because they're the Southern traditional bride, there is trends within that type of trend. So I look for trends in each kind of category. So for modern brides, it depends on what you want to be, what you want to look like, because you can go from the highest extreme to the lowest extreme to basically simple, like a super simple wedding, but it's super modern. So it just depends on the bride per se.
Right.
But I love looking for all types of trends, because sometimes they just mesh well within who a bride is.
Yeah.
So if you're, I don't know, like a monochromatic bride, like just like color, but like different shades of that color. There's so many weddings that are modern and Southern. They take a twist on that, and it's so cool. Like you get to just see the person. That's what I love about weddings. Like some weddings, let me point that out. Some weddings you can see the personality of the bride and groom, and that's what I love the most. And that's what I look forward to in weddings. I don't just want to see like you pick the color purple and it's just purple.
Right.
I want to see like, what does this mean to you?
Yeah. I feel like so many people try to, I'm single as I don't know what, but I follow like wedding pages, like wedding groups on Facebook. I follow all this stuff, and I always hear people or see people asking questions like, am I supposed to do this, or do I have to have that? And the one thing I learned from like working in the bridal, even for that small portion of time, like your wedding can be whatever you want it to be.
Yes.
You don't have to follow any rules. It's your money, you paying for it. You can do whatever you want to do.
Whatever your money can buy you.
Right. So I think that a lot of times people try to stick to what's traditional, or they'll even ask me whenever I help with weddings, like, hey, how is this supposed to go? Am I supposed to do this? But like, girl, you can do whatever you want to do.
Whatever you want. It's yours.
Right. Whatever you and whoever your partner is, groom, or whatever you got, whatever y'all want to do, like y'all can make that happen. So I know from following your Instagram and from following the magazine's Instagram account that you go to like the bridal shows and everything sometimes.
Yeah.
So when you go, do people know you're working for the magazine, and do they like try to pull you in their direction?
No. I don't know. Sometimes. I mean, I guess like if I know, like for instance, we went to a bridal show or like an event. Some brides that I knew were there. So like, oh, Jasmine, what is this like? What does this do? Like, but other than that, no. I don't know. And if they do, I never found out. Probably until later. I don't know.
Do you enjoy going to those?
Yes. I think you'll be able to find so many different businesses that you would not think of. Like when it comes to wedding, I wouldn't think of putting, at an event, putting a nutritionist there. Because that's just me. I'm like Southern. It is what it is.
Yeah.
I'm this weight. I'm gonna be this weight for my wedding.
Right.
So like going there, you'll get to see all types of vendors on the coast, really. Any place, but you'll just see the all-around effect weddings have on people, and you get to see how you can just go to different businesses and support them in any way you can.
Do you think that the coast is like becoming a hot spot when it comes to weddings and like what to look for in the South. I only asked that because like before you would see in magazines like a lot of stuff like Natchez, Meridian, all those areas, but like it was never anything focused on the coast. Even though I feel like we have the beach, like it's such beautiful views, but nobody ever really focused on like down here.
Yeah, so with me getting to know the coast more and on that level of like locations and venues, I think we have a lot to offer. It's been plenty of weddings that I went to that I was like, oh, this was here? Like, I've never been this far. Like,
Right.
So I think we are becoming a great location for brides and grooms to have a good wedding. And not so much focused on beach weddings because that's what we're known for. Like,
Right.
either like you're gonna get married at a church or you're gonna get married on the beach.
Right.
It's like two separate things. So now you can like get married, at the White House where you have a touch of elegance, or if you want it by the beach, you can have it by the beach. You still can have that kind of theme. Whereas you can go to Long Beach and have your wedding at kind of like a big mansion.
Right.
And you can have it inside and outside, and you can have anything that you want. You can make it very southern, very classic. So I think we have a lot to offer on the Gulf Coast, but not a lot of people may know it until they research for themselves.
Right. Or they can read your magazine.
Or they can read the magazine. Or you can, it's out there.
So where can people find you? Like, where can they find the magazine online? And then where can they, on like what social media platforms, and where can they find you personally? Just Jasmine.
Oh, cool. Yeah, so for the Weddings magazine, if you're looking for weddings, it is Gulf Coast Weddings magazine, and we have Instagram, and it's just the name, Instagram, and also on Facebook. And if you want to get a book, we have the books at our office, and they're free, or any location on the Gulf Coast. Usually I find my books at the stores, like our local boutiques and things like that, so you can find them there. They're all free, and then you can also find them online at I believe it's Gulf Coast Woman magazine, so you can find all the magazines there on their website. And for me personally, you can follow my blog, and my blog is called The Ball Post. And then on Instagram, my Instagram handle is miss_ball23, and that's where I do all my stuff.
So as far as your blog, like what all do you discuss on there?
I discuss everything. So I discuss fashion, beauty, and lifestyle. I talk about clothes that are trending now but may not trend later. I talk about using what you have in your closet instead of keep buying stuff, even though I still keep buying stuff. It's fine. I mean, it's a natural habit. I talk about beauty products for brown skinned people because I feel like a lot of the times we go into a store or we go to YouTube and we go see this person try this lipstick out, and it looks good on them.
Yeah.
But then when you go home and you look in the mirror and it looks a hot mess on you. And I get that a lot. So I talk about beauty and I talk about hair. I'm a natural hair girl, and in the industry of fashion, it's not really, well, now it's like okay, but back then, or like a few years ago, no.
Yeah.
So I talk about hair, I talk about living on the coast, I talk about food. I'll have like a food like this restaurant, in my opinion. I'll have a blog about that. So I talk about everything. Like, it doesn't matter to me. I talk about singleness. I talk about people in relationships sometimes. So it just depends on how I feel and what I see around me.
Have you thought about getting to the vlogging portion of it?
Yeah, so 2021 was supposed to be, well, as my pastor called it, 2021. I'm supposed to be doing plenty of things. So I'm thinking about starting a YouTube channel and like doing some vlogs and doing some like behind the scenes stuff of what I do day to day, or whatever comes to mind.
Do you have a favorite sector when it comes to back to the weddings? Do you have a favorite thing that always draws you back? Like, is it the dresses? Is it the actual arrangement of the wedding? Like, as far as like decor, like.
I guess I'll say it stems with the bride and groom story, because once you hear the story, it kind of makes sense with everything else.
Okay.
To me.
Yeah.
So like some stories I read and I'm just like fascinated, and I can't wait to see the wedding because I know it's going to be based on that.
Right.
But if I had to choose between the options that you gave me, I am always looking at wedding dresses.
Yeah.
There's never a time that I'm not looking at wedding dresses, or I'm looking at a dress and I'm like, oh, I can make that into a wedding dress.
Yeah.
So dresses, yeah, 100% on thoughts all the time.
Yeah. I felt the same way, but I'm so glad you came and talked to me. I really enjoyed this. This is probably my favorite one so far.
Yeah.
I say that I feel like every episode I do learn something different, and so hopefully my audience does as well. But like this is something that I've always followed, and to have somebody else that's excited about it to me to talk about, it makes me happy. So thank you for coming.
You're welcome anytime.
I appreciate it.